YouTube is live.
What's going on, YouTube Outlaws? How y'all doing, man? On a Thursday evening, we all here. Y'all gather around and let us tell you a story or two, right? And some facts and some statistics and some realities and whatnot. But
gonna learn today.
Yes, sir. We out here in the 414. We alive and well. Ain't in jail, so we still got a chance. We out here getting healthy, wealthy, wise, free, happy, and full of joy. So, brother, putting on his engineer hat again. Welcome, y'all, man. It's like I said, Thursday night edition. We all here, man. Brother, tell me something good.
Peace, peace, outlaws. Peace, peace to the outlaw family. I am brother. Right. Bag drop.
You the brother?
Right, no doubt, no doubt. I am your brother.
Yes, sir.
But I also am the black woman's lover, the black man's brother, the culture teacher, the hood healer, your holistic health and wellness coach, Kamar Carter.
Yes,
y'all better come on in.
What's up, everybody? 414 stand up. The People's News Network is popping on Facebook, our group. So it's only natural that we do the People's Network presents Outlaw Radio on the Thursday night.
Right.
Band-Aids for bullet wounds.
Yes.
A very important conversation. I had to hit reset on the switch, so I need y'all to share everything. Go to my timeline and share it and do that justice, right? Until I can get right. But what's going on, Milwaukee? What's going on, Midwest? What's going on, Black America? I am the world-class smartass in the building, the militant on the microphone, the mouthpiece of the movement, aka the Negro Whisperer. And this is what we do on Thursday night. We talk about what's going on, right? So let me get myself fit and secure. Catch my back for me for a second.
All right. Well, while his brother gets secure, first of all, I want to give y'all a shout out for the show you did last night, man. It was what's up. A lot of us need to get up and move and get some blood circulating and whatnot. So you had it was about some kickball.
Oh yeah, we heard George on here, one of my longtime friends on here.
Right.
And he got a kickball league, Milwaukee Community Kickball League.
Okay.
They've been doing all type of stuff throughout the city. It's been going on for some years now. I think it's a dope thing.
But I was saying, just really ask yourself, when's the last time you played kickball?
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying? That was one of the things we talked about. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I used to be cold.
And talking to him, we learned that, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like football and baseball.
Right.
Different people got certain skill sets, you know what I'm saying, that they like to use.
Wait, do they use the big red ball?
Yeah, they use the kickball, the original kickball.
That's what's up, man. So it's some nostalgia in that, you know what I'm saying? Even that. It sounds like a lot of fun, man. I was listening for a while, man. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so
you know what I mean?
Shout out to y'all, man.
It was like you get a chance to be a kid again.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Get some exercise. You got to keep them joints
run
moving.
Around.
Otherwise, you're going to get stiff. Yeah. And, a good way to have fun. Other grown folks said they got like 20 teams. It may be like 400 players. You know what I'm saying? And the thing, man, it's an event.
Keep it moving. They say you don't use it, you lose it, right? You know what I'm saying? So especially when you start getting in them 30s and 40s and whatnots, right? So y'all do that.
Shout out to 3041 North, Mr. Terry.
5-star.
And actually, Mr. Terry and Miss Serena Brown just received an award. So, like, best event venue by the Milwaukee Business.
Okay,
I think that.
That's what's up.
So we tell you all the time, it's top notch, man. 414-810-3131 is the number you should call. We support Black businesses, no matter what, whatever you have. Whatever you want to promote, the proof is in the pudding. You can go watch all our shows. The people that we bring in are not always the people that we necessarily agree with or champion or whatever. But if they fit into the formula of positivity, then we won't hesitate, to put you on. Right? So hit like, hit share, hit follow. We are simulcasting. Our YouTube page is live. This is live, man. This is unedited. It's all raw, so whatever you see cats do on here, you gotta understand. It's impromptu. It's like black impromptu, right?
Yeah.
So you really gotta be on your P's and Q's, and I hope you participate with the show. I hope you have something to
we
say.
certainly want to hear what you have to say, for sure.
It's not just all about what we say.
One of y'all got the solution out there.
But like you said, shout out to Rouse Riley, man. He came on here, he represented the Milwaukee Community Kickball League very well.
Yeah.
And they have, we even likened it to the formation of the NFL.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them, and hopefully a bond was established in which, you know, we can coexist as, you know, black men, right? So you know,
soundtrack,
business wise, and I'm speaking, no doubt, I'm speaking business wise.
Yeah.
You know, black business here has to be promoted. Listen, if there's no financial security, if there's no real unity and us getting together and understanding our power, the power of the dollar, if you will, then nothing will work. You can rally, you can march, you can sing, you can join a group, y'all can do it. But unless you bring the people together, nothing you are doing will be effective. Right? I just want to say that to start the show. And then I want to say rest in peace to John Witherspoon. You know, I wanted to kind of stop in the beginning, but then I remember that this cat's an entertainer who had a long life, and he was able to see the fruits of his labor. But we have death here in Milwaukee with these little girls who are just ran over. So I can't give it up to a celebrity. Before I give it to the people.
That's right.
So and that sister lost her second daughter via this calamity. You know, this crazy, savage behavior in the community, which is the kind of shit we talk about on the show. The truth might make you uncomfortable, but it's all good.
Right.
I mean, you got to get it out, right?
Well, come on now, it got to be said, right?
Yeah, it has to be said. It has to be said. So, man, listen, hit like, hit share. You know, follow the show. Make sure you tell people about Outlaw Radio. We are the underground over here in Milwaukee, right? Northside brothers trying to represent the spectrum. Myself, who's socio-political. My brother here, who's a hardline militant. And my brother down there, who's an herbologist, who happens to be the proprietor of Nature's Nature Herbs and Supplements.
Yes, go and get you some.
I am a point guard.
right. Thanks for the dish. Alley-oop, my brother. Good looking. But yeah, we got the Nature's Nature Herbs and Supplements to detox. I focus it to clean your blood, push the mucus out your body, and clean, detoxify your liver. And also what it's going to do is going to clear out your respiratory area. It's going to clean that out. It's good for you if you got bronchitis, asthma, and stuff like that. We got the Vitality Mix over there. It's good for men and women sexually. It's also good for high blood pressure. So if you got high blood pressure, you may be able to take those and it'll keep your blood pressure or help keep your blood pressure normal. And then I also got the, I hadn't pulled it out yet, but I got the elderberry syrup. It's that time of year, y'all. It's that time of year to start getting ready for the flu and all that.
You missed that shot.
These people, I was gonna say, man, these people will have you go get these shots that's not right for you. You know what I mean? To break down your immune system, actually. But also, you drink this. You know, you get you a bottle of it, drink a tablespoon a day. You know, you can avoid that flu shot. We also got stuff like the liver cleanse, the kidney cleanse. We clean your blood for you. We got burdock root, and my biggest seller, the sea moss. This is something that's growing, y'all. It's growing rapid through the vegan community. Different.
It tastes like ass, but it's good for you.
Yeah.
Some of y'all like the taste of ass.
It tastes like underwater ass, right?
And some people like, don't threaten me with a good time. I will eat all the sea moss.
So wait, you know.
I would wonder how would one know if it tastes like ass or not.
We got some world class ass eaters out here. What are you talking about?
But what I would say is it doesn't taste well. You know what I mean? I don't know if it tastes like ass per se. Hey, I don't know if it tastes like ass per se, but it does taste horrible. You know what I mean? So what I did was, it was very good for you. It's probably about
98 of the 102 minerals
exactly.
that the body needs. Right?
Exactly. It's probably the best thing for you, the best thing you could eat. You know what I mean? So what I did was, since it tastes horrible, I put it in capsules. You know what I'm saying? So you can avoid that taste and still get the well.
Don't experiment with the taste of ass.
I bought a lot of the powder, so I still use my music. I use mine in smoothies. I'm just telling you, if you mix it with some cinnamon and some ginger,
you help cover it up.
Hey, and on Wednesdays we do that. We do.
Wait, do what?
We do wellness on.
Talking about ass. Do what?
Right. I
don't do ass. We do what?
Radio.
What do we do?
Listen, Anything goes on
Ass
Outlaw Radio.
capsules, right?
You can say words that other people are scared to say on Outlaw Radio. Chime into the conversation.
Yes.
The specific topic of the show tonight is Band-Aids for bullet wounds.
Right.
Let me explain that if I must,
Yes.
or if I could. I think right now you have to understand that there's actually a conflict of interest to assist people of color. Understand, wherever you live at, whatever city, town, whatever village, whatever, wherever you live at, to assist people of color would mean you would have to empower them. To empower them would offset the balance of things that the powers that be. So that means you'll have a group of people who have been subjugated and underrated and just delegated and just, everything, right? So you empower them, you give them a piece of the pie, then they'll empower themselves. So now our government becomes what it's supposed to be, which is, in this country, everybody has a chance to represent for their best interest.
Well,
but there's a conflict.
Paper.
There's a conflict of interest in that, in particular in Wisconsin, because one of the things that powers our economy is the Department of Corrections. You have to understand that they make a whole lot of money, and a lot of people are employed via the correctional system.
Slavery.
In a state where you no longer control the beer or the cheese or the milk that you propose, America's Dairyland, my ass.
Not anymore.
No. It's all gone. So now what holds up northern Wisconsin? The prisons that are conveniently located through and throughout
In the suburbs.
So when we come down to helping the core, like preventing, like Jason always says, don't worry about the spider web, worry about the spider.
Real talk.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't want to kill a spider. I just don't want webs in my house.
Yeah.
So basically you let the spider live and exist.
And you keep sweeping away the webs, right? We hate the webs, and let's contribute.
Yeah.
There's a war on webs when we know where they come from.
So when I say Band-Aids for bullet wounds, trust me, in my real experience with social services and all this kind of shit.
Yeah.
I really understand that there's really no program out there right now that will affect change in our community, realistically, because they have timelines, they expire. The struggle doesn't expire. If you don't have no money and you come from no money, it's called generational poverty. If your whole understanding is brokenness, if I may use a word from the hood, if your whole existence is about broke and struggling to survive and living off scraps and digging off the bottom, being a bottom feeder, then you have no elevated understanding. Somebody has to elevate. And in order for somebody to do that, they must be empowered. So when we talk about Band-Aids for a bullet wound, let's not be fooled. When the city budget is written, when the state budget is written, there's no money allocated for us. Now there's the CDBG money, which is Community Development Block Grant money, which is $19 million of federally allocated money that should serve our neighborhoods and our communities. We know via Rocky Marcoux and Tom Barrett that a lot of that funding was diverted for downtown and Park East type shit.
Yes.
Right? Therefore, that $19 million becomes a Band-Aid on the bullet wound of what's really ailing us.
So that's why they call you the mayor.
Because it doesn't promise us any kind of empowerment or progression.
Right.
It's another hand-me-down, which in itself is being misutilized and misdistributed. Is misdistributed a motherfucking word?
It is tonight.
It is
on
tonight. Outlaw Radio. Tonight,
We do what we want on Outlaw Radio.
misdistributed is a word.
Right.
I don't think outlaws live by rules. So,
No, we don't.
I mean, we do what we want to do on
Not those,
Outlaw Radio.
Right. Yeah, I'm Bon Jovi. I'm going out in a blaze of glory. Look, I do the white shit too.
Yeah, I guess.
Right. So check this out. I mean, my point is this. If you wonder why the things that are being attempted are not working and they're not affecting change, because regardless of whatever programs we have in place right now, there's still egregious murder. There's still the largest achievement gap academically in the country, which I'll go into a little bit later. There's still this hyperactive crime rate. We were recently rated as the 9th worst city in this country, but it's all per capita. Understand the math, because there's only 500-something thousand people in Milwaukee, and you have a 40% minority population. So that represents maybe around 37, 38, damn near half of the math, right?
Right.
So I'm saying, but there's this few. And it's not all black people at all, because black people, by and large, are not savages. They engage in revelry. We like to party. We like to hang out. We like to get together. And it's usually two people in there who got issues, right? Who know everybody else on either side.
Two, right?
Right. It starts like So I guess my point in all of this is that you don't have to question why nothing's working. It's because they don't want it to work.
Hello, somebody.
They don't want that.
Right.
Listen, you're a black man. You think Whitey want to see you move into his neighborhood with your credit straight, legal, with businesses? Your kids are going Ivy League. That your grandkids' kids are straight because of the paper that you get. You think they want us to build black legacies in the United States of America, the home of chattel slavery, antebellum slavery? The revolutionizing of racism and slavery comes from the United States of America, because we did it like everything else. We commoditized it. We commoditized slavery. Everything in a democratic, supposedly, what do they call it economically? Free enterprise, right? In a democratic society that engages in free enterprise with their money.
They make it sound so just.
Capitalistic society.
Right. And if you pull yourself up by your bootstraps and work real hard, you can achieve the American
I'll tell
dream.
y'all what, you better find somewhere to get some boots first.
You can achieve the, and when you do, let me tell you, they'll come kick them damn boots from underneath you.
Right. You got the wrong heel size.
If you're stepping too high, they will come knock you down.
So Band-Aids on a bullet wound tonight. I want white people to understand that we're not fooled. We see the game. This is not for us. You're making a false attempt to clean and rectify this city for the Democratic National Convention. The problem is you've never done that since we've been here via the Great Migration, which I will cap in about 1970, in which we went from 1940, 15,000, 30,000 black people to 170,000 black people in a 20-30 year span. You've never tried to fix it. I grew up in Milwaukee.
I would say they're not doing it now. They want it, but they want it to appear as
though,
right?
They're fixing.
We are gonna all get together, because everything you said was real, and I agree with it. But just if you want to wrap some of that up in a shiny bow, you could just call it poverty, right?
Right.
And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get together voting time, and we're gonna figure out which rich person that we're going to elect to come solve
poor people problems.
Our poor people problems, our poverty.
Right.
So it's ridiculous within itself. It just don't make sense.
Yeah.
How do you think they got rich in the first place? On the backs of the poor.
Yes.
So that's when you talk about the Band-Aids for the bullet wounds. It's ridiculous. My only thing is, why don't we see this as a whole? I mean, it's so so apparent.
I think we do, but a lot of people just don't want to address a lot of stuff that they see.
Well, they don't have the answers.
That's the problem that we have as a whole.
So let me ask you, and I'm about to be extreme with it, right? At some point or another, do you get a group of people that just choose to die?
Yeah.
They choose to become extinct. They choose genocide.
And I think subconsciously that's what's going on now.
Is that okay? I didn't want to overstate it, but that's what it looks like,
only
right?
one truth.
Because the problem that we have is that we don't have our own backs, right? So when we got a store that we trying to patronize and we get spending our money there, and they disrespect our young people or our elders or our women, right? And we try to boycott it. Black people still work, still go there to shop. They don't got your back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we know that it's a nation wide, like what was the sex trafficking ring, in which Milwaukee is a hub, right? It's common knowledge. We all know this, right? But nobody's upset about it. We more interested in a pastor that eats pussy, right?
Right. Yeah.
Which is a very interesting thing.
Why are you surprised about
That's a bad day. Right. Yeah. Why be surprised? It's a man. Be a man.
What do you think about a pastor? He's a nigga in a suit. You know what I'm saying? he convinced you that he's something different.
Yeah.
So it's ridiculous. But we don't have our own backs, man. You know what I'm saying? When we try to clean up our communities and have something nice, it's niggas that pull up in front of your house and dump their trash. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have our own backs. That's our problem. So at some point or another, like, Kanye said some outrageous things and they jumped on him about it. But the one thing he said was slavery is a choice. And to a degree, is that not true?
It is.
It's not true at all.
I disagree, because I think that
what I said, you have
made a couple examples. We choosing this shit.
I think slavery,
Not we, they.
the slavery that happened Like it wasn't a choice to get taken into slavery, right?
I'm not
But
talking about
now you figure now you,
indentured servitude
Exactly.
and whatnot. That's
so now you got like you figure like right now, right? Slavery. You got mental slavery going
thank
on.
you, sir. Yes, sir.
We
Absolutely.
choosing to be mentally enslaved because we don't want to learn nothing better.
The
We
reason,
hear people tell us all the time that it's something greater.
the
It's
reason
something greater,
why,
but you have to want to get better.
the reason
you
why
have
I
to want it.
disagree with you, Jason,
Yes, sir.
when you talk about slavery was a choice, and
No, that's excuse me. Let me
Well,
clarify.
man,
'Cause
Turner
maybe-
chose
agree
not
with
to.
what
maybe,
Kanye
maybe
said.
I misspoke. Maybe I misspoke. I shouldn't say slavery was a choice. Slavery is a choice.
right now,
Right.
And a lot of us are choosing at this
When-
point.
and
to be
I
so
think
forgive me
at
if I
any
misspoke.
I wanted
I
to
even
go-
think at any point in time, even during slavery, you know what I'm saying? Even
Well,
during
it was some
slavery,
niggas that was comfortable
Exactly.
in the house.
and there was
didn't
some
wanna
niggas that was
rebel.
comfortable,
I wanna
and there was
go
some that
back.
chose not to.
Sure, house in the field.
So
Malcolm told us.
since they chose not to, that the key word is chose.
I want to say,
Chose in the present choice.
I
In
wanna
the
say
present
this.
tense is choice.
Choose.
and
Choose.
shout out
Choose.
shout out to my mother, who actually lived in the Jim Crow South, born in 1942 in Mississippi, deep down, way down in the jungle deep,
Mhm.
raised as a sharecropper during the peak of Jim Crowism.
Mhm.
And my mom, when I would talk to her and like to say to her right now that shit that they were under was a choice, she would lose her shit because she would be like, you
I
have
understand.
no idea what you're talking about, because at that point it was the law.
That's why I
You
changed
were
my word.
born into it.
Mhm.
You didn't choose it. You were born into it, and you said, why? Mama, daddy, why? And mama and daddy didn't have the answer.
But what about
But
the
now-
what about
hold on,
the
let
people
me-
who
now-
made the choice?
let me
What about
finish.
now?
Let me finish.
Mhm.
So I'm saying even back then, and what Kanye says, which is my fundamental agreement with him in regards to why slavery was a choice. So you have to understand that once people are occupied and the way we were brought in, when you strip those people, it's the perfect war. It's the perfect assault. And it's all legal. There's no regulatory board. You make the rules.
They still do.
So, but hold on.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'm saying you get these people over here. You did everything that you could do to destroy a people. You separated them.
Mhm.
Mothers. There was no rules.
Language,
I would
religion.
take a baby from the grandmother.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, I'll dome the grandmother, or everybody will show up to watch it.
Mhm.
Those were the rules.
But you know the choice though is that black people now know that and they don't care.
Well, I'm talking,
you
They'll still sleep with the
you
white
saying-
woman
you
or
saying
what?
now, you saying now, I just want to do this.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So my mom's, because this is why this is not with you, but this is why I disagree with what Kanye said.
yes.
Because I know from talking to my mother, and we used to say to my mom when she would describe the conditions, and we would say, "Mom, I wouldn't have did that. I wouldn't have did that."
Shit, the whip hit your
You
back.
never know. what
She
you
used to
would've did
tell us
until
they
you
would have
in
gave you a Chinese name. He hung high.
Yeah.
Because that's what they did to
Now-
niggas
now-
who stepped out of line.
But
So now
now-
she came here,
Now
right?
that's the choice.
She
'Cause
came here.
some chose that.
Some chose.
Some
She
chose
came
that.
here. She ran
Some
away.
jumped off the ship.
She ran away and came here because in her mind, those who come from me won't ever have to go through this.
She made the choice.
So now we get to today where I agree with you all at on now you make the choice to cool.
Mhm.
Now you make the choice to live counterproductive to the people. You do that consciously. So I agree with you now that it's not necessarily an absolute choice now, but it's more of an involuntary
Right.
choice
Yeah.
because you kind of fall into it.
Right.
And you really got to center yourself and say, whoa, shit, I'm a pawn.
Mhm.
I got to change this.
Right.
So now, yeah, I agree with that, but I had to give it up for the people who came through that because I know people
Yeah, I
who was
could dig it. You know what I
beaten
mean?
and
And-
subjugated
and
down south would look at you and say,
I
"You a damn fool."
totally sympathize
think we
with
took
all
that.
of them. You know what I'm saying? I totally sympathize with all of them. But and also it's a choice that you don't want to have to make, but it's a choice. I'm either gonna get hung or I'm gonna go for this. I'm either gonna ride against these people, go as far as we can, or you know what I'm saying?
But
Yes, sir.
The art of
And
war,
and see, that's like I said, that's a choice that you don't want to have to make.
But it
I
still
mean,
is a
it's
choice.
so drastic that
The art of
you
war
almost
is
even
not-
feel like there's no choice.
the art of war is not that I'm gonna kill you; it's that I'm gonna kill your baby.
Mm-hmm.
I know you don't care. You
Right.
grown. You like I done had enough.
Mm-hmm.
You got a 2-year-old.
Because what you riding
And I'm
for
gonna
is
burn
for
that
But
house
you know
down.
what? But that 2-year-old, would you rather have him die at 2 years old, or will you have him live a life of slavery?
right.
You see what I'm saying? To watch
and
his kids get taken
and
away
then again,
or
and
used
there's
as
another
alligator
choice.
bait or separated.
I want him.
So we
I
see-
want him to live.
but this ain't about what we want. It's about choice.
No, you ask me. If
So-
I
Right.
got the choice, I'm gonna say no. If it comes down to you hurting my 2-year, because the 2-year-old,
Yeah,
the 2-year-old has an upside because he or she might grow to actually change it. So I'd
Yeah.
rather preserve
So-
their life and say,
so-
Right.
but
I get it.
but that's
I see both sides.
Hold on, give me a
You know what
second.
I'm
Just
saying?
give me one moment. Because that's your line of thinking, right? So we have this situation where the orange dude saying that he went and killed this, you know what I'm saying?
Like-
This you know what I'm saying? The Arab, right? The ISIS dude, right?
I bet you can't say his name.
I don't want to say his name. He don't deserve my attention. But what we
You can't say it.
no, but what happened though? So they said what happened in the play-by-play is that the dude that they went to kill, he had on
A bomb.
a bomb,
Right.
Mhm.
and he took his 2 children, his 2 young children, with
Jihad.
him into a hole and blew himself up
Mhm.
with his children. See what I'm saying? So again, what we think about as the unthinkable is still a choice.
Somebody else to say.
It's a choice we
Somebody-
don't want to have.
Now
to make.
nobody wants the choice to have, because the things they was doing to us during slavery, like boiling us in hot sugar water, you know what I mean, and all, like it was some really dastardly.
Why you say hot sugar water?
hot, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because
You should say oil
or hot oil, whatever they was doing.
Sugar water.
I'm just saying.
That's
So
funny.
nobody wants to make that choice,
Yeah.
but it was a choice. There was some that chose to jump off the
Yeah.
ship, and they
And
knew they was
die.
going to
Yeah.
get drowned and get eaten by sharks. But
And-
that was the
And
choice
the
they made.
choice is so drastic, it would make one feel like
No
there
one-
is no choice.
Well, you choosing between life and death.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's you don't want to choose that.
What the
So you know what I mean?
what
That's
the
what I
brother
say.
said,
I
Black
completely agree with the one. I agree with both. I agree with the ones who stay because they have their reasons for staying
Mhm.
and choosing to stay within.
Mhm.
But now we at a point now where okay, you got mental slavery, you got financial slavery. You know what I'm saying? So it's like okay, you got to choose to remain now. You know what I mean? Because
To be
you don't
ignorant.
die if you try a different way this time. You don't die.
But no, you
You know what I mean? You can get better.
No, you wait.
Still
No,
die.
you can still die.
Right,
You
yeah.
still die.
But
Yeah.
not
still
like,
die.
but it ain't to the same degree as
It's the
before.
same.
If I choose to stop going to church,
A bullet hurt things
Listen,
like a bullet hurt knife.
if I choose to stop going to church,
Mhm.
ain't nobody finna hang me.
They
That's what I'm
would've hung
saying.
you.
Your own
But back
people
then,
might.
but yeah, but
Your
what
own
I'm saying,
people
what I'm saying
Well,
is
they
back
would've
then.
hanged you then.
But back then, I mean, I'm just saying like
You got
breaking
a
off
point.
a
I
rule.
get your point. I ain't
You
trying
know what
to-
I'm
yeah.
saying? Just
There
the
was some
breaking
black
off a
people,
rule.
but they were just drunks. They
but
just
you-
went to the juke joint. They didn't
I
they didn't make noise.
The
like
punishment was a lot more severe.
Exactly.
Than
For
right.
less.
Absolutely.
for doing less.
Absolutely.
You
It's
know
like
what I'm
it's
saying?
like Old Testament, New Testament.
So now it's like okay, I can let go of these
Because
chains.
the punishment in the Old Testament was way more harsh. Like the Old Testament was like, people always say, well, you lie, cut out your tongue. No, that's Old Testament. Like you cheat, we stone you.
Wait, but Jesus is loving and forgiving.
But he died, so
But
we
it's
get a New Testament.
the same God. They try to tell you that
He
this.
wrote part 2. You seen Friday, you want to see next Friday. Stop it.
Yeah.
You want to see
But
it.
they tell you, but he don't change. He hold this forever.
The
His
MacIver,
ever loving hand.
Right.
the MacIver Institute. The MacIver Institute. The MacIver Institute.
MacIver, not MacGyver.
No, which is a very, very reputable data reporting service. We had this thing where we have the largest achievement gaps academically in our public school system between urban kids. And it's not just Milwaukee. It's the state of Wisconsin. Every large city has the largest achievement gaps between black and white kids. I just want to read this. I'm not going to even bring literacy into it. This is math and this is English.
Okay,
right?
bring literacy, yes, sir.
As far as how and we know standardized testing can be as slanted as you want it to be, because you can skew research to make it be whatever.
Numbers can be manipulated.
Right, just like anybody.
Stats, have variables.
But even the spectrum of this is frightening. In the year 2018, white kids were proficient 50% of the time on English. Black kids were only 13%. In 2018, in math, 52.5% for white kids, 11.5% for black kids. Now, here's my thing. You know, if I go into the art of teaching and I talk about pedagogy and things of that nature,
Bless you.
we talk about how you actually teach, epistemology.
What you call
We
me?
talk about where your information comes from, considering the source, researching the researcher, split hairs for our children, and going the length for them. I'm here to tell you that I don't have the answers, but I do know that somehow, some way, the black community has to get some academic training, not necessarily to pursue a liberal arts education, but to be literate and to understand, if you're going to speak the Queen's English, to understand it so that you can't be insulted, not even know that you're being insulted. To play the game, to get the nut to start the business.
Hello, somebody.
To get a job,
Yeah.
you have to play it. So I want you to be equipped for real life, because I won't be around to do that. So I need for you, my parents call it arithmetic. Read and arithmetic, right?
The 3 R's.
Right. So I'm just saying, not even on a go to college, not even on a, invest in the white man's knowledge. We need to impart in our children how to get, because I think when it comes to mathematics and science, it turns into critical thinking and it turns into being able to skills, or they lack them. Not all of them. There's some brilliant young black people.
Thank you
out
for
here
saying that. Thank you,
getting it
sir.
in.
Thank you.
And
sir.
I meet them all the time and I always big up them. So,
I don't know about
Jason.
either one of those, but go
Right.
ahead.
Oh, fuck you. I
Oh,
don't need your help with this shit.
wait.
But what I'm saying is,
Come on.
we have to deal. See, this is the thing. The duty of the civilized man is to what? Teach the uncivilized.
Teach uncivilized. Now, wait. The word civilized can, can be used loosely. But go ahead.
No, it's your turn. I said civilized. I'm point guard.
Okay, yeah.
I set you up on civilized.
Yeah, I need you to bounce past it next time. I might need to alley you. But listen, here's the thing, because I agree with everything you said, but the thing that pisses me off, right, is because you can put that on a billboard on Fond du Lac and Capitol, right? And here's the thing, you can put that, and you know what? Niggas will show out harder for a fucking chicken sandwich.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And they don't.
It's coming back.
They don't care. I know it's coming back. And who knows what they put in it this time, because they know you niggas was going to act like a damn nut.
Who you calling a nigga?
Listen, you almost baited me into some shit like this.
Who you calling a nigga?
Hey, listen.
Light-skinned dude?
I'm the blackest light-skinned dude you ever seen.
Hey, bull, I'm trying hard, right?
But I'm just saying, you
gonna jump in.
You can see cats spend $2 million on a fucking chicken sandwich. You can get cats to get together and unify or fight other dudes based on a basketball jersey or a football jersey. Right. But you can put those statistics up right there, and they don't give a fuck. You can tell them that the mayor is poisoning their children in the water. They don't care. Right. So when I start talking about, is it a choice?
Who you voting for? Now you're going Democratic.
Yeah, what? No. Which rich white person is you gonna or black or mulatto are you gonna vote in to come fix your poor people's problems?
Hey, I can't
it's
wait.
Ridiculous.
I can't wait until we get the black Republicans, because I'm gonna bring black Republicans. I'm gonna bring black conservatives. Look, the head of the black Republicans in Milwaukee hit me up and said they want to come on Outlaw Radio.
I have questions.
They've seen us. They hear us.
I have questions.
Shout out to them.
Shout out.
They know what they're in for.
No, this is the listen to learn moment.
They know they finna get some questions.
I have questions.
You know what I'm saying?
I have questions.
And we got Teach right here. Yeah, they gonna get some questions.
Band-Aids for bullet wounds.
I just want to know.
Band-Aids for bullet wounds.
Yeah.
Verbal combat, precision. Whichever way you choose to shape it or form it, right? Connect the two lines in this division. Plus, when they had loops and flukes,
it's guaranteed to sell like prostitutes.
Hey.
I never had a love for
her. Peace to Alicia Bales. Peace to Alicia Bales. Thank you for watching, sister.
Yes, what she
said, we must be able to voice our opinions without everyone getting offended indirectly or directly.
Exactly. You got to be able to pop your shit.
So okay to get offended.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what?
It's okay.
And see,
That just means somebody think different than you. You
See, I'm
disagree.
just-
That's
I'm
all
just-
it means.
My mama used to say, "You mad? You scratch your ass and get glad. You'll be all right."
This dude always got one. I don't know where he come from.
You said your people was from the South.
Oh, my
Listen,
You got it.
I wrote it down like all of us. None of us was. We all got grandparents that's from Tennessee,
Man.
Mississippi, Arkansas. You know what I mean?
Right.
Band-aids for
And
bullet
you know,
wounds.
and that's the key word is opinion.
Yeah.
We all have opinions,
They like
and that's
assholes.
okay.
Everybody
you know
got
what I mean?
one.
You have a right to have your opinion,
So-
and
You
we
know,
have
I
to
just
start
think,
respecting.
I think we
each
can
other.
we can set the table, which is what we're gonna do. We're gonna set the table, but everybody's gonna walk away from this table okay. Like
Oh, for
nobody.
Mhm.
We
You know what I
gonna
mean?
dap and hug before
Oh.
we leave here.
I might
right?
not hug them, but I'm gonna let them
You,
know.
he
that
the main huggy one, like you know what I'm saying. You like that?
Hugger is a hugger.
people who know me like shit walk up to that motherfucker like this.
It depends. It
Put your
depends.
ass in the camel clutch.
See, another hug.
Right. So no, man. Listen, hit like, hit share, hit
Man,
follow.
come on, yeah.
Let
do that.
people know free speech is popping, man. You know, we on this show, we are unbought and unbossed.
Mhm.
We don't owe anybody except ourselves anything.
Right.
So on this show, you're gonna get the reality of what it is,
Mhm.
and you can like it or not. Like
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna change the format because you're bothered by it.
Unsullied.
Right? So
Yeah.
I know Jason curses too much, and I tell his ass about this shit all the goddamn time to stop all that fucking
I
cussing.
hate all them
But he
motherfuckers.
won't fucking stop.
Oh
So look, Byron Allen hit the Breakfast Club this week.
man,
Finally.
I hate I
You took
missed
off.
that. Right?
He took off. It's on YouTube.
Yeah,
Yes.
I caught a piece of it, but
Yes.
I hate I missed. You know.
Yeah, I
Yes.
caught him. He made some good
Oh,
points. too.
man.
Oh man, that's the brother right now.
And he, you know, the most unique thing that he talked about was this is actually such a deep violation of his brother because he's rich that they've gone back and
Try to change the
try to
law.
change the original civil rights, not the
Mhm.
1964 shit, the 1866 shit.
Mhm.
Like and he's even said, I've come to them cordially and said, okay, look, let's just take care of it, man. And they even said, no, a nigger can't win.
Yep, basically.
And he's like, man, I've spent millions of dollars. I didn't take this shit's going to the Supreme Court. How in 2019 is anything civil rights, social justice, equality, empowerment, anything minority, how's that shit still going to the Supreme Court? That's ridiculous.
Mhm.
That is so.
And
this-
it's only one. It's still a nigga on
But
the
see,
Supreme Court.
this
right?
is what. Well, this is what I want to say to the conservatives when they come on. How can you legitimately question empowerment and equality for people of color? How could you acknowledge and endorse the subjugation of us? It's Booker T. Washington versus W.E.B. Du Bois with the Atlanta Compromise and the soul of black folks, and eventually it turned into the Niagara Convention, which NAACP was formed. But Jason, I don't want to get
It was formed by who? Who formed it?
I said
Who formed it?
I said the Niagara Convention, brother. I know Joe Springarm, who the award is named after at the NAACP Awards.
Nigerian brother, right?
He's white.
Oh my goodness! In the NAACP,
He was Jewish.
What do you mean? Ish being the key
Stop
word.
it, man. Can't take your ass to 7 Mile Fair for shit. You always arguing with the Mexicans.
Yeah, that, and I want some donuts.
So look, we got to get behind Byron Allen because Byron Allen is saying,
Yes.
because you think about us as a small dot on the map, but
Mhm.
this is free expression. This is black. This is on the internet. This is live, regardless of how you feel about it. People in Hong Kong see this shit. People in Africa, I get fucking friend requests all over the world where people,
Oh man,
yeah, man, get in. Some of them be
that's
trying
why
to,
you keep
Yeah,
it
be
on
careful,
your
man.
face.
some of them be trying to
some-
sell me some
Yeah,
shit.
that's what I'm
too.
saying.
Right.
Some
I
will
don't
tell you,
want
say,
right.
sell you a
I got a
sob
good
story.
deal for you, brother.
I am a Nigerian prince.
Right,
Yeah.
If you send me $2,000,
Coming
I would have had some tell me like I'm a
Coming
witch
to
doctor.
Atkinson, the movie.
I'm a witch doctor. I do
Real
sacrifices.
So
What
so
do you need?
you know what I'm saying? Just if you just send me the
So when we talk about band-aids for bullet wounds, we go back to my original thing, which is as a black person, understand and really acknowledge the fact that it's been so much information given to you, and it's you've been lied to about everything. Like that's one thing emotionally you have to accept that. You have to understand that all the shit that we sat in them classrooms, and for me it was in the 80s, and they were giving us a quote unquote education. It was all misinformation.
Indoctrination.
It was all bullshit. And they never intended on enlightening us. They never did. They wanted to entrap us.
Right.
So there lies the school to prison pipeline. Right? Because I'm not going to fully equip you to take on society. I'm gonna leave you a level beneath where now if you compare the school systems to the suburbs, they got white privilege too, so they're empowered, but their education is a little bit more fluid. It's a little bit more efficient if you look at the curriculum models. I don't want to go too far into it. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's Outlaw Radio, man. Band-Aids for bullet wounds. Let me let Jason talk before he punched me in my face.
I didn't want. I'm patiently
I can feel you in my shit, bro. I can feel you on it.
I just have one question.
He done turned his page and everything.
I'm looking at some notes and some things that I wrote. But seriously, I have a question, and my question is, and maybe y'all can answer. Maybe I should ask. I'm gonna ask it to black people in general, but you can answer.
I can try.
Yeah, okay.
Or my people who listening.
This was for you, Alicia. Answer this question for us.
Listen, what will it take? What will it take? Just imagine this: you're in a relationship, right? And I'm gonna I'm a man, so you're in a relationship with the woman, and you think she cheating, right? But she come up with the good excuse like, I have my phone was in my purse. You know what I'm saying? It died, and so but you know something is wrong, right? And so we're suspicious like that. But then when you catch her, in the act, you walk in on her and you see it happening. What will it take?
Right.
Because you still ain't gonna do shit. You still ain't gonna leave.
As crazy as that shit was, I understand it.
So
right, you like, what the fuck is he talking about? No,
as black people, we done seen it on tape.
Seen them cheating.
We done seen them give a white woman 10 years for killing a black man, and a black man 45 for killing a dog. We done caught it. We done seen them be. We did. What will it take? And then when they finally cross that line, what you gonna do?
Right.
Because I don't see it. So my question is, what will it take for us to get together as a people and unite and fight back? However, I'm not saying kill nobody, whether it be financially, but to unite, to come together like we did for a fucking chicken sandwich.
We was against each other with chicken sandwich.
They was fighting and everything. They were together on
no,
chicken sandwich.
That damn chicken sandwich. You see what I'm saying? But what black people? What I just want to know, because it's all done happened. They done showed you ain't shit. They done showed you the law don't protect you. They done showed you they have a different form of justice for white people than black. They done showed you this obvious. So what will it take? And then what?
Welcome to Outlaw Radio on the Thursday night. The People's Network presents Outlaw Radio. Thanks for bullet wounds. We are talking about the pretending on the part of the powers that be to make us think they're trying to help us.
Right.
Listen. I say this all the time, and somebody please, and I shout out to everybody's watching. I say we getting a lot of love. Hey, share the show, man. Give us some thumbs up, give us some hearts and all that shit that you give everybody else when you're watching that shit.
Yeah, we like
thugs need hugs, man.
And we don't own the rights to this music,
right? No, man. That's what's happening, man. Give us love too. Shit. Thugs need hugs, man. Shit.
I told you he was hungry. I told you he was hungry. You know?
Sonically, I'm a hugger. I'm a sonic hugger. But nobody can answer this question for me. You tell me, as a person of color, what treaty, what agreement,
they done broke them.
What legislation, what deal, what handshake has worked out when black people and white people got together and teamed up. When did it ever work out to help us? Now, my perfect example is even the music industry, which is culture forming, because America has culture. Artistically,
our culture, they got.
The agreement always was that we do the creative part and you do the administrative part.
And they get the credit.
So you got people who wrote and pioneered sounds and songs who are Jewish white man's family. He's been dead for 70 years. They're on their third itineration of the trust fund. Right. This is how deep the robbery goes.
Yes, sir.
It's never worked out. Stop being safe. Stop being scared. Watch my show. I'll say the shit you want to say.
Hey, yeah.
You know,
And then I got to go to work on Monday and act like I didn't say the shit, right? Well, Kevin, we heard you. That's a different Kevin Barnes. His name is actually Jason Campbell.
And then they come to me, and I'm going to tell them what the fuck I just said.
Tekashi has to. We got the new Tekashi.
I don't know.
Go ahead, boy.
You
Go
know,
ahead.
I think them just talking, when we was talking about our culture and all that, right?
Mhm.
You know, I think reparations are part of our culture. And I believe that I think we should get them.
Oh,
But then,
yes,
you know, I was
yes,
watching
yes.
a video about with Godfrey, right? The comedian.
Yeah.
Gilbert
Gilbert Godfrey. Yeah, and he was speaking on reparations,
Huh.
you know, and he
He's
was saying,
Jewish.
but I don't know, but I just want to talk
I'm
about it.
no, yes, sir.
Fuck
Fuck the message.
No,
you know
I just
what I mean?
what I know about
I just want the message.
Yes, yes.
Message, you know what I mean? Fuck the
Bull
message.
trying to sell us some detox.
Well, yeah, that too.
Go ahead, bro.
That too.
Jews
But,
need
you know what I'm
cleaning
saying?
I
But you know, I liked it what he had to
Kosher
talk
herbs.
about. I liked what he had to talk about. You know what I mean? It was dope. He was talking about, you know what I mean, how they talk about one of the things they said, we don't have the money for it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, you know what I mean, we built this country, you know what I'm saying, for y'all to do what y'all had to do. You say you ain't got no money, but y'all got trillions of money to fuck the water up, fucking the food up.
Let it be a war.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly.
See,
You
they
know
come
what I
up
mean?
with that money.
And then you talk about what they do for the military, all the trillions they spend on the military, on defense, and all this type of stuff. And you know what I mean? All the money they made off our culture, the different inventions. You know what I'm saying? The different inventions that our people done invented. You know what I'm saying? The music, the blues that they took over. You know what I'm saying? The country music, jazz, hip-hop.
Hey.
Look at all this money that they done made off our backs. You know what I'm saying? But then they talking about they don't have the money. You
My
know
brother,
what I mean?
once again, here's where if I could play this guitar and sing this song, I go to a white man who knows distributors and record people, and we make a deal. They lose.
Yeah,
I
you
died
lose.
broke.
You lose.
Your
you know what I'm saying?
great-great-grandchildren own the rights to a song I wrote
We had,
Yeah, you
we,
know what
we
I'm
had
saying?
the Cotton Club where black people played music
and couldn't even go in
and
the front
wasn't
door.
even allowed, but they was the center of attraction.
Yeah.
I mean, so we've all they don't good entertainment.
Yeah, you know what
Jump,
I'm saying?
nigga, jump.
Right. You know, they don't want us in their neighborhoods. They don't want us in the stores, in their houses, in their schools, in their restaurants. You know what I'm saying? So no matter what we do, it's the L.
Kanye
You know
West.
what I'm saying?
Kanye West
Yes, sir.
has
do.
taken a stand.
Stop. Really?
Kanye West is taking a stand because Kanye West has declared his Christianity.
He's
right?
a buffoon. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
He's declared his Christianity. And listen, as a black person, I came up in the Baptist church, right? Well, hold on. I was indoctrinated. We all were to a certain degree because American black see now there's some distinctions with being a black person from America, which I'm going to get into as we move on when we talk about the movie Harriet and we talk about ADOS and we talk about this kind of stuff. So, but one of the distinctions of black Americans was primarily Christianity was what they gave us. Now there's a splintering of the black community in the, in the 30s, 40s, W.D. Farad to Elijah Muhammad, all the way up to the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, which a portion of us went into Islam. But by and large, Christianity is what they gave us.
You didn't say Master Farad Muhammad. You said just what you
I
call
said W.D.
you call
Farad.
it?
I don't know. You haven't produced.
Peace and Rouse Rock.
Right,
You
man.
just checked in.
What?
Peace,
Wait,
Rouse.
I made you stutter.
You
I
gonna
thought
have these motherfuckers after me and shit. Like you didn't call him Master Farad. I don't call dudes master. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
He's white though.
Yeah, he's ambiguous.
Ain't gonna be able to do it.
It's a door-to-door silk salesman. I'm not going into that. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. It's Outlaw Radio. Jason ain't
Yes,
shit. That's the name of the show.
It's
tonight.
Outlaw
Trying to get me on some intellectual shit. But no, I'm saying, so Christianity is what we were kind of spoon-fed.
Yeah.
And there's
Force-fed.
there are some connections between pacifism that allowed you to be enslaved and subjugated that connects directly
Love your
to
enemy.
the slave Bible. Now,
Turn
I'm
the
one of
other
those
cheek.
dudes who say grandmama was still grandmama. What grandmama said was gospel. And I still do believe in God. I just don't believe in the way they taught it to us because I think they manipulated it and they edited it. They were in control of the printing press, which I believe was one of the more significant inventions of the last 500 years.
Even before the printing press, they had scribes who would write Bibles, right? You see what I'm saying? So yes, sir.
So go to church and be about Jesus, and that's fine. But don't take it in an old Southern way. Be a progressive Christian. Like be a Christian that understands you cannot sit inside a building and critique those outside the building, because early in this show I have to go to Willie D's quote again. If your criticism of the Black community outweighs your contribution, you probably a coon.
More than likely.
More than likely.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kanye taking a stance on this is one thing, because that's Jesus. But when you want to champion, first of all, my brother, you cannot pick a political party, because neither one of these political parties gives a shit about us, Democrats or Republicans. You can blame Democrats, but if you understand politics, especially in the state of Wisconsin, in which you've had a Democratic regime in Milwaukee for 40 years, but there's always been a Republican governor to deal with, a Republican House. See, there's checks and balances. Then that don't understand civics, because he does not understand you can have a Black Democratic president with a Republican-held House and nothing gets passed the way they play it.
So, you see me over here sitting, why vote?
No, vote, but I'm saying don't let a Negro,
make you wonder,
don't let a semi-Negro like Kanye West, who's there's evidence of your nervous breakdown. You are a documented mental health patient. You can't tell me shit, Kanye. I don't care how many rap songs you turn into gospel songs. I don't care. You are the original sellout. You said it yourself. When it get on, he leave your ass for a white girl. And the rest is history.
So yeah, you talked about his nervous breakdown, right?
So, no. Because I'm bad to retarded people.
Ooh, okay.
He just said he had a mental illness, man. I don't think it's fair that we talk about somebody that we saying that has a mental illness.
Give me a moment, because
I was talking to Kevin. I was just saying,
I might be in his defense.
I don't think that's fair. I mean, I ain't saying I agree with him. You know what I mean, with a lot of the stuff that's going on. I don't agree with him. That's okay. But I just feel like, mental illness is a serious thing, man. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody's going through something, one of these type of things, you know what I mean? I just can't get down on it.
So
okay, let him act the fool again. This ain't affecting nothing that I'm doing.
Right. So stop listening to him. Then they put him on every major platform so he can spread this foolishness.
Or actually, they spread it. He's just somewhere speaking what he's saying. What he's saying.
He's a tool. Go ahead, Jason.
No, I'm good. I'm just sitting back.
Put his pen down and sit back.
I sit back and listen. I just sit back and listen.
Somebody gonna get pushed.
But I think really, really, like you say, he's got a mental illness. He living his life out here, and unfortunately, he's in a public eye with a lot of cameras and microphones.
So let me jump on my conspiracy theories type shit. Right?
Okay.
Because we saw him, go on a whole little rant, whatever city he was in during the concert, right? And then after that, we saw them come and take him away and forcibly give him medical treatment. Physically had him strapped down and took him from his home to give him medical treatment. What kind of medical treatment you think they gave that brother? Man, you see what I'm saying? Ain't no telling whether it was shock therapy. Ain't no telling what kind of things they put.
They had a lobotomy.
Okay, it's possible. So the dude that we hear now, I don't even take that seriously. Right? That's why I dismissed it earlier. Because let me tell you, this fool that's going around right now and representing Kanye. He's doing some Jim Jones ass.
Okay, well, Kanye.
He's doing some.
Take my advice.
Kanye might not even be here anymore.
Right. We don't even know.
You see what I'm saying? But this dude here, he's doing some Jim Jones shit. He got a lot of followers.
The original Jim.
He finna take y'all down. Oh, I'm not talking about the rapper. I'm talking about Jones. He listen, and you can see him trying to morph himself into some sort of, being or some sort of that need to be respected or listened to or followed. Listen, he's to me like if you can see 2020, and I'm not talking with your physical eyes, you know better than he's a clown.
Kanye, my advice to you: shut the fuck up.
Go away.
Shut up, man. Go away. We're not listen.
Take your big booty white woman and just what I'm saying.
That's even in question too. From the mouth of a surgeon, even the booty is a liar. I just took your shit and changed it.
Oh, we can always ask Ray J.
Right. But the booty was natural there. Right?
Right, ask a few people.
You're right.
She swallowed on that thing. I'm just saying.
Quite a few.
Listen,
That's just what they call
now the hop in Milwaukee, the train is in trouble. The train is in
it.
trouble.
No, wait. This is we all need to applaud that. Right now.
No, Potawatomi paid for the first year, everybody ride free.
Yep.
The train's in trouble.
And I got on it. It smells like pee.
You got on it?
I did.
I rode one.
It's free.
It didn't smell like pee.
It smelled like piss.
I did. I went to Bastille days, and I had my little cousin and my daughter with me.
It was nice.
You know, my little cousin. He it was cool.
You did it for the kids, man. You like old dirty bastard. Outlaw Radio's for the children.
We love the kids. We love the kids.
We do, man. But they badasses.
We love the kids.
But it's in trouble.
We was too.
It was a bad investment in the first place, and we all knew it.
It was a forced
But
investment.
because it was the trick of this, I think my people have to understand is that this was created via tax incremental
and
funds.
what did Mayor Barrett get? It
What?
was for his own pocket. We don't even
Well,
know
he
about
thought it would be a boom
it. He
because
forced it through.
there's some crucial things happened. First of all, he utilized tax incremental funds, which we basically, to make it simple,
Yes.
you borrow against the tax, the property tax value. And you gamble in saying wherever this train runs and the real estate that it'll run over, because we're developing in that, the property taxes will go up, which will create revenue.
I love when you're in your lane like that. That's fantastic.
No, I understand it. I
Yeah,
understand
that's
it.
what I'm saying. You
Understand it.
just spew that shit.
Yeah, no, I do.
Talk your talk, black man.
But the thing is,
Yeah.
but the thing is short-term thinking, because there for something like this is service related, which involves ridership, and what appeals to riders is
Not pee.
efficiency and no usage.
Yes.
Because if I work downtown, then I can because downtown parking fucking sucks no matter how you draw it. So if I'm a business person or I work downtown, then there should be a centrally located hub where I can get this on the north side and go downtown and work and get off by my job and go. But no, you built it in a circle because your hopes was that you'd be able to extend it. Skippy Walker nixed that early. The Department of Transportation said we will not do maintenance. Nothing. We have nothing to do with this. You counted on being able to develop it, and you tried to attach Vale Phillips' name to it. We're going to create this hub. No, it costs $65 million. No. We ain't doing that either. So now you're stuck with this train, and the maintenance of it is not even covered. This shit might actually end up parked in a garage somewhere, like a car you bought at tax time.
Maintenance ain't covered.
Well, no, you have no.
pee.
That sucks.
Well,
And it smells
Barrett
like
says
pee.
I wanted
Or
to
no
keep
break
it.
down. We down the train.
Well, no, you know who's gonna
Listen,
fix it? The
man.
city of Milwaukee is
Well,
gonna fix it.
Barrett gonna be gone by then. He don't
Who knows? He
give a fuck.
hasn't announced whether he's running.
Go away.
Listen. So the killer part of this thing is this,
Right,
right?
him on here.
So he says because the first year it was free
Like
because
put him on the
Potawatomi casinos actually sponsored it and they gave so it was free. Now they like, nah, man, you know what?
And listen, they didn't do that for nothing either.
Well,
Right.
they spent.
That was in consideration for something else.
Well, they got Navajo
Give and
money.
take.
Mhm.
Okay.
They got Navajo. You know what Navajo money is?
Reparations,
For who?
Indians or
Right.
Native Americans, excuse me.
You've been around me before.
Oh, not on purpose.
Jason ain't shit is the motto of the show. So look, when you keep these things in mind. Now, all your aldermen now who want to run from it, none of them objected it. There was two. I think there was two.
Who are they? If you can call it.
I think it might have been Bauman and whoever's the other one, Zelensky, maybe who's running against Barrett, who was already had established that he was going to run against.
Okay.
And don't quote me. Go look the shit up for
No,
yourself.
real talk. Yeah, Google
Right,
it.
right, it's underground. It's
It's
underground.
Googleable.
Right, it's Googleable. Another word we fucking made up.
And that's an outlaw radio word.
Right. If somebody else say that shit,
do around here.
if somebody else say that shit, oh, you biting, cuz.
Well, nah, you know they've been listening to the show,
Right.
so don't front.
Nigga, my name Google.
Right?
Oh, really?
We make our
I'm
own words
MC
up and shit.
Googleable, motherfucker. DJ Googleable.
DJ Yahoo and MC Google. That's it. Right?
Hey,
So no, keep in mind when you go and vote that there's been continuous mismanagement of the money and the revenue in the city. See, first of all, you cannot balance the budget on the backs of poor people.
you call it.
What you have to do is you have to go out and seek and find and see. I didn't want Barrett to show up at no homicide. I don't want to see him at a church. I don't want to see him at the opening of a community center. What I want to see him doing is across the country, meeting with Fortune 500 company leaders and saying, I have so much fucking retail space. I have areas where you can literally build whatever you want. And I'm so forward thinking that I've even figured out a tax break for you.
You call it
because I'm overtaxing the people. So you got a wheel tax. You got a tobacco. We still paying the goddamn tax on the stadium. Miller's leaving. Now they're gonna be Molson Coors. What is it gonna be called?
It's
Coors Park.
It's gonna be called a tax that you still gotta pay. But here's the thing: you call it mismanagement. You call it mismanagement.
Misdistribution.
It's you know what? It's fucking theft.
Right.
You took money that was set aside for one purpose
From many different places,
and you stole it and put it somewhere else. That's theft.
Right. Well, we say a long time. We've said for a long time. I said this years ago. Behind every great fortune is a great crime.
By a white person.
And behind every great crime is a white person.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that was coming.
You jumped in.
Yeah,
I let you, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you, sir.
Way down in the jungle deep. Six flat lines and badass monkey feet.
Hey.
No. So
motherfucker, can't you see?
Standing on my goddamn feet. So listen. Let it be no misconstruing of information. Yes. And we're going to say this, and we had an hour. I think an hour is good because we coming back Saturday, right?
I am.
Back Saturday, right?
Lord willing.
Right. We will say this. There's continuous police misconduct. How can you expect the people to do what's right when those that are there supposedly to police them won't do right? Especially in the face of people of color. There's framing, there's trumped up charges in the kangaroo court. There's all kinds of egregious
I like to bring up the beard
behavior, which is why I don't understand why
whatever Republican do
Reverend Do Right
people on the show.
Why Reverend Do Right and Deacon where no sense,
no tax paying.
Right. Why don't y'all say this to Bear when he come in your church? You're too busy seating him. Stop it. Ask him. Lay it down for me so I can take it to my people. What you gonna do for us?
That's what we need.
Say it without. See, you get on me for smoking weed. I'm not even your problem. You want to stand in the pool. You're drinking all night. You're gambling and you're shacking.
Right, yeah.
And then you fucking with the mayor who keeps your ass in a fucking mental chain. And he not only
and
you,
that little boy,
and he uses you to enslave all your people. You're a tool. You ain't the dingling, you the balls.
Just make them sweat.
You're an accessory.
If you catch him at the right time, he both.
Right.
Especially if you're in the choir, you know.
Look, sometimes they chestnuts, sometimes they chin nuts, but sometimes you just got a dick in your mouth.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say that.
Well, that's Walmart.
We got church people listening.
Listen, if you church people and you act like ain't nobody in your church fucking, stop it.
Right. Well, don't say fucking. Say having the intercourse.
No, stop.
Right.
It depends. The deacon or the pastor, you're the elder, right? You know. Yeah, right. What's that?
Deflowering.
Fornication under consent of the king.
Shout out to Ray Mendoza.
That's fucking right.
Shout out to Ray Mendoza.
Basically,
yeah. I'm gonna bring Ray Mendoza and the Violence Interrupters back, and this time we'll have them off topic because last time we had Dia Green, the poetry pusher, and they got down, and I had to. It was actually very masterful how I conducted the symphony that night. You got to go back if you just want to see how good I actually am at this.
A brilliant accident.
Oh man, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You stumble into destiny, baby. It is what it is. Right? So no, but we're gonna have my brother back. We're gonna have my brother Fote back. We're gonna do the Violence Interrupters.
Yes,
it's gonna be their show. They're gonna be featured because we're giving everybody else the feature. So I'm gonna give them that. And I ain't saying it's gonna be this like Saturday, or maybe it might be because I'm gonna hit my brother because he watches the show and he supports us. My brother Ray Mendoza.
You might want to confirm.
Yeah. I mean, of course, I don't do that. But you know, you got something you want to drop?
You know,
I had a lot of other shit, but we're gonna talk about that shit Saturday. I'm saying.
No, I cover most of my shit.
Yes, I was talking to Hamid. He's one of the 414 like people, the Violence Interrupters, and I was talking to him about me getting with him too.
Okay.
I like the demonstration.
It's a good look for you.
Let me go up some of these.
And then just as part of the family, it just what I'm saying, you know, it's all good, man. It's like, you know, it's gonna all come together like butt cheeks, like I always say. I want
not
you,
sticky.
right? You know, depends on how deep it gets. I want everybody to be free. Look, do what you want to do.
Yes, sir.
Feel good about yourself. It's the weekend. Get you a beverage. Get you something to drink. Go out, shake your ass. Do what you got to do to be ready for Monday, because whatever happened this week, you have to get it out so we can move on, right? And I want people to know. I hope you get everything you want, but I hope you want everything you get. Don't be praying for something that you can't handle. Prepare yourself accordingly.
Yes, sir.
I see y'all Saturday night. We're going to close this week out with the weekend rundown. It's going to be lavish and magical.
Hey.
Well, maybe not neither one of them, but we're going to still do a show Saturday night.
Peace.
Love, man. I see y'all.
It's just ridiculous. That's what's up. Appreciate it. Oh, you're giving us underarm porn.
Yeah, man.